Okay, folks, we have got to talk about Dusty Deevers because this is one of the craziest stories that I've heard yet. For those of you that don't recognize that name, Dusty Deevers is a far-right fundamentalist preacher, but he's also a state senator from Oklahoma, and he has proposed a bill that would ban sexting. That's right. Out of all the problems we have facing this world, he wants to ban sexting for unmarried couples, meaning if you participate in sexting or you send nudes and you're not married, he wants to make that a crime and against the law. You could be fined $10,000 per image if caught doing so. And if you get caught buying or selling anything like that, you could face up to 20 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Now, I know that sounds absolutely insane, but this isn't the first crazy idea this dude has had. One of his first bills, he wanted to make abortion a homicide and wanted to prosecute the mother. Of course, I wouldn't be shocked that he would think that. He also wants to come up with eye for an eye punishment for someone bearing false witness, which is really weird to me. It tells me that he's not a New Testament preacher because every church that I grew up in always told us that the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth part didn't exist anymore because Jesus paid the ultimate price. But in the words of the late, great John Prine, I guess Jesus Christ died for nothing in Dusty Deevers' world because he wants to give eye for an eye punishment. He also wants to eliminate no-fault divorce. The only way a divorce could be dissolved would be for abuse. But he wants to publicly shame the person at fault for the divorce. And now he wants to ban sexting and ban sending nudes. And the way they're going to determine this is if he says this is the definition, how he defines it. It's anything that lacks serious literary, artistic, educational, political, or scientific purposes of value. Well, I could say that about the entire Republican Party because they do not offer any serious literary, artistic, educational, political, or scientific purpose of value. If you were going to use that definition, I could put that on the entire bro country genre. I don't think Jason Aldean's music has any serious literary, artistic, educational, political, or scientific purposes of value. I could go all day long with this. I could also say that the type of minister that Dusty Deevers is and all these televangelists like Joel Osteen has no serious literary, artistic, educational, political, or scientific purpose of value. But you ever heard the old saying that if you broke it, you bought it? I think that's what we should do with these Republicans that wants to support this kind of lunacy. You know, they broke the Republican Party by allowing people like Dusty Deevers, and that name sounds kind of suspect to me. I mean, if we're going to be talking about banning pornography with a name like Dusty Deevers, you got to do better. But anyway, these people should have to live up to the standards that they've allowed to come into their party. They broke it, they should have to buy it. Meaning that if you're going to support the Republican Party in this kind of nonsense, then you should have to live exactly like Dusty Deevers wants you to live. Not the rest of us, just you. Live up to it. Back up what you say. Live up to it. Instead of sitting here and cherry picking the book of Leviticus, back it up. No more pork, no more catfish, no more tattoos, no more two fabrics, no more rounding the corners of your beard, no more cutting your hair. No, live it straight down the line, exactly like it says, and live everything that Dusty Deevers said to a T. And then you'll have my respect because I won't call you out for being hypocrites about it. What I want to see Republicans out there shaming each other for the divorce. Yeah, for everybody out there that is just on the MAGA train and riding it high, okay, then we're going to bring you up. We're going to shame you for all the divorces you've had publicly. I mean, that's what you guys vote for, right? So we're going to do that. We're just going to shame you publicly for your divorces, and you have to show us your cell phones and everything in it with your wife standing there. How about that? How about you live up to this lunacy instead of continuing to promote it? Because when you allow these type of people into government, you can't go around with a truck flying a flag that says, "Don't tread on me." Okay? Because this is treading on people. That's what this is. And that's what MAGA does, and that's what these far-right Christian fundamentalists wants to do, is tread all over everyone else. And when he says that he wants to promote the will of God, tell me when you have ever heard the will of God that it didn't come out of another man's mouth. I will sit back and I will listen to the person who has actual evidence in their hand of a conversation they had with God Almighty, and he told them what his will is. Because every time I've ever heard God's will, it's come out of some man's mouth who distorted it for his own will. But if this is the kind of politicians that MAGA wants to let into their fold, and they don't see a big deal, it ain't no big deal, oh man, yeah, I know some of them's crazy. Okay, well, hey, you broke it, you buy it, you pay for it, you turn over your cell phone, let us all shame you. Let's see how you like it. Because, see, at the end of the day, I believe a lot of these people's fear Their biggest fear of people of color and their biggest fear of the gay and trans community is they're so afraid that one day they might get treated the way that they've treated them. Well, if Dusty Deevers gets his way, you're going to learn today. You're going to learn exactly how that feels. So yeah, keep supporting that kind of crap and live it. And then I won't call you out for being a hypocrite. If you guys will come out and just publicly shame yourselves and turn over your cell phones, old Brando won't call you a hypocrite anymore. But until then, yeah, Dusty Deevers. Keep an eye on that guy.